The toughest part of any sales conversation is the end of the conversation. That's where you're supposed to confidently diagnose the problem, prescribe a solution, recommend the next step, and help the prospect make a decision. But for most people, this is where it all falls apart, because right at the end of the deal, at the pointy end of the deal, most business owners flake. They get weird, they start rambling, they find ways to avoid guiding the prospect toward a decision. And suddenly, a strong sales conversation turns into an unpaid consulting gig. And this is especially true if you are the business. If you're a consultant, an agency owner, if you're selling skills and expertise, if you are particularly passionate about what you do, if no at the end of a conversation feels like a personal rejection, you know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. That's why I created this video. I'm going to show you how to do 3 things. First, how to confidently diagnose a prospect's problems and then make recommendations using what we call anchor packages. Because when you present the prospect with only one option, you're giving them 2, and those are take it or leave it. But when you give them 2 or more options, you come across as less pushy, and the focus of the decision becomes about their choice. Second, I'm going to show you how to use bonuses strategically, not as some cheesy urgency tactic or as a way to stack fake value, but as a way to naturally handle concerns and tackle objections before they come up. Yes, I want you to use bonuses to overcome barriers. And third, when it's time to get a decision, how do you get an answer to that important question, do we have a deal, without you needing to suddenly randomly blurt out, so do we have a deal? Here's how to finish a sales conversation like a trusted expert, because that's exactly what you are. There are typically 3 parts to a sales conversation. There's the discovery phase at the beginning. There's the piece where you demonstrate value in the middle. And then it's your job to diagnose the problem and offer a recommendation as the authority in your space. This is one of the reasons why we love to use anchor packages. This is where you anchor your offer against something else that you offer, not your competitors, not your base rates, but other packages that are part of your suite. So on the screen right now, you can see 3 words: premium, preferred, and patsy. And we will typically start with the premium option. The premium option will often have 3 parts, and it will be the most expensive. And what we're doing here is we're setting an anchor. So let's just write $9,600. This is called a price anchor, and that's because most people in your space don't really have a strong idea about how much things should cost. It's not like you're selling $9 umbrellas or cartons of egg or loaves of bread. Cartons of egg, loaves of bread, cartons of milk. Then after we've introduced the premium, we can move to the patsy. Now the patsy will typically be just below 1/3 of what it is that your premium is. So for example, let's call this $2,600. Now the patsy is designed to sound a little bit boring. So if this has this sexy name called, I don't know, the complete build, this might here be an audit. Complete build sounds sexy, audit sounds boring. And then in the middle, we have the preferred. And the preferred will be often just a little bit more than our patsy, but offer a whole lot more value. So what we're doing here is we're anchoring our patsy against the premium. Gee, this sounds affordable in comparison. And then we're anchoring our preferred against the patsy to set a value anchor. That's what we mean by anchor packages. When you present one option, it's either take it or leave it. When you present 2 options, it's either or. When you present 3 options, you can anchor against price and you can anchor against value. In a separate video, I break down the demonstrate stage of a sales conversation, which is your opportunity to visually map the process you use to get a potential client from A to B, from their current unhappy state to a desirable outcome that you provide. I always recommend that you draw the process, because when you draw while explaining, you activate both verbal processing and visual processing at the same time. Researchers call this dual coding theory. Plus, when the prospect is building the process with you, the map becomes more valuable to them. And that's because when somebody builds something themselves, it acquires more value to themselves. What about bonuses? How can we use bonuses strategically? We like to use these in three ways. We use bonuses to handle objections, we use bonuses to steer decisions, and we use bonuses to create urgency. In fact, all bonuses should be designed to get a faster decision while also improving the quality of your service. Let me explain. For objection bonuses, start by writing a list of all the reasons why someone might say no. The two most obvious reasons are time and money, but there's a third which is more important than both of these. Now, if time is the issue, you need to emphasize the COI. That stands for cost of inaction. If someone says it's not the right time, that simply means that this is not a priority for that person right now. But if you can emphasize the cost of inaction, what they're losing by not taking action quickly, then suddenly time becomes less of an objection. Money is about ROI. So when we talk about money, it's usually, well, if you're spending this, this is the upside. We're talking about the return on investment. But you know what? There is an area or a topic that beats time and money every time, and that is ability. And that is because people can trust you, they can trust the process, but they might not trust themselves. So when we're tackling objections, we need to tackle time, we need to tackle money, but we also need to identify all the reasons why they will say, no, this won't work for me. So they might say, I don't have a marketing budget. I don't have an ads budget. I'm not very good at sales. I'm not very good at copywriting. If these are all the different reasons why they will say no, you need to find those reasons, write those things down, and then turn each one of those into a bonus. Now, I said by doing this, you improve the value of what it is that you do. Indeed, you improve the outcomes for your customers and clients. Because if you're already pretty good at what it is that you do, you've identified ways where people fall down, where they self-sabotage. If we can identify those ways, you have probably already turned them into things that you deliver as part of your package, but they're within the construct of the outcome of the package that you deliver. So if we can pull them out, we can turn around and say, well, if you're worried about this, we have this bonus. If you're worried about this, we have this bonus. And if you're worried about this, we have this bonus. And what we've done is we've identified the objections, we've articulated and voiced the objections before they come up, while also increasing the perceived value of what it is that we do. What about preference bonuses? Well, preference bonuses are about steering your customer or client in the direction of what it is that you want to offer. So for example, if I have 3 options that I've just run through, I can finish with some of my closing questions. And my closing questions look something like this. My first closing question after I've demonstrated value is something along the lines of awesome. So there are 3 ways I can support you beyond this conversation. 3 options. Would you like to know what they are? That's my first question. Most people will say yeah, because I've done a little bit of demonstrating value over here. When I then run through the options, I can then ask the question, of these 3 options, which one do you think best fits where you're at right now? And more often than not, they will turn around and they will say, the one in the middle. At which point you can say, well, cool, because I have 3 options. I have 3 bonuses that we're providing to people who are taking advantage of this particular option right now. And we can run through the bonuses. If they turn around and they say this one, you go, okay, cool. But for only $200 more, I want you to make you aware of a couple extra bonuses. 1, 2, 3. And what we're doing is we're steering the person in the direction that we want them to take. Urgency bonuses, yes, are about compelling the person to make a decision sooner rather than later. So for example, if I run through my 3 options, if I say, hey, I've got 3 options, would you like to know what they are? Which of these options best matches your circumstances? I can ask, cool, is that within your reality right now? Which is a smarter way than asking, do you have a budget? Is that within your reality right now? And they either say, yes, that's totally within my reality and we can bring this home. Or they might say, listen, I don't have the money with me right now, or I need to get my business partner on the particular call to make a decision. There might be other reasons. If that's the case, we can hold back on one of these bonuses, or make sure we've got 1 or 2 extras in our pocket and say, cool, all right, well, that's okay. Let me know by Friday. Come back on Thursday and then say, hey, by the way, if you're willing and able to make the decision now, I will give you this. Come back on Friday. If you're willing and able to make the decision by the end of the month, I can give you this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different bonuses. So if you've identified all the reasons why someone might say no, and you've transformed them into bonuses because you're using bonuses to overcome barriers, you can decide at what point you decide to drop the different bonuses. Some will be on the call, some will be shortly after the call, some might be your opportunity to bring the conversation back online by introducing a new bonus. Hey, if you liked this series or came in late, you can go back to the video on part 1 here or the video on part 2. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe.